The way that nation states are going about tariffs and economics is, and I've been saying this for a very long time, they have their own bureaucracy where they're holding their authority over the people at large in a very corrupt way, and it aligns with the corruption worldwide. And the CIA does not want the corruption ever to end because they're fully corrupt. Their whole society is, they base evil is good. That's really the CIA's society. So if you look at states like Libya, they did not want to see any kind of human prosperity because it will spread. Human prosperity will spread worldwide and expose the Catholics for what they are, as devils. Okay, that's exactly why they do what they do. And Venezuela is another example. You go, guys, these are not the most brilliant of leaders, but they were humane, and it was enough to be human. That's it. Just be a humane human being. And the apostles gave us that example, and the saints gave us those examples, and that's civilization. And these leaders in our recent times, they were doing a very good job in the modern technologies and modern, progress that we've cultivated together. The Catholics were selfish in the spirit of Edom, the undead. They were like, no, we don't want to share what we can steal. To them, that evil is good. They really believe that lies and theft and, betrayal is the divine rulers. That's what they believe in, and that Libyans have no right to share in any kind of civilization because they didn't. They're usurping the devil's throne. You can't do that. And the CIA got active. And that reality of things escapes the dialogue, and it's been mentioned many times. Like, how does this happen? Where is this evil coming from? Because it is supernatural. That's what it really comes down to. These dialogues are being censored by religious know-it-alls, and censorship is not a thing that good people do. It's a thing that corrupt people do. But they talk down to the people. They go, we need censorship because we're maintaining what's good in society, and that's complete lies. But they like their comfortable living. When you're a retired general, you don't want any kind of trouble in your established throne chamber, your gated community, and that's how the liberals are. And there's allowed to be crime against you. They don't care about that. And what is that? Look at the professors calling for violence against civics in America. If you're calling for civics and rationality and human values, they're openly calling for violence. You see the senators, the news people, the celebrities. What is that? That's an alignment with the esoteric, supernatural positioning, and they don't admit to that. They go into this mystical, quasi, narcissistic speech on how the world is really, behaving, and you have to climb the Kabbalah to have any kind of right to anything on the earth, and not what Jesus told us. He told us, stick with human rational civics. You're going to have enemies, and that's what the apostles are doing. And look, they're going to lead by example, and stick with that. That's the tried and true gospel of Christ, not what we have in our modern society with these false, Christians, which is everybody. They're all there. It's like you talk to the boomer class people in America, nothing they say makes sense. They thought the new generation screwed things up, or right now the Democrats are like, Trump ruining America, as if there were no problems prior to Trump, and they'll tell you this. Everything was perfect up until, so obviously they're just a very vulgar criminal society that's inhumane. They're not human. And that's like to be said. What is a human being? Well, the Bible doesn't say we're all human beings. That's one thing to be clear. It says we're not all human beings, okay? And then at the end times, it's going to be like no human beings. It's just going to be these beasts. So you have these, houses for demons, these people that are houses for demons, and going to be guilty. That's the resignation when they show, like, what did they do in their 30 years' time? Like, come on, in my whole lifetime, what were these people doing? They were pocketing away money at the pharmaceutical industry, at the colleges, at the, law houses, and really it's openly, recognized, oh, these are all corrupt institutions. Yeah, these people are still doing it, and they have no shame because they have this religious, anti-human worldview.